Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
This is the summer to expand your horizons. You've had enough staying home. You've had enough confinement. It's time to explore. But before you set foot out the door, set foot in the ultimate travel shoes from Allbirds. Like the breathable, silky smooth Tree Runner, the responsive foam and extra grip of the Tree Dasher, or the classic low-top look of the Tree Piper, Allbirds has a shoe ready for whatever adventures you have planned. Whether you're traveling to the ends of the earth or settling in for a staycation, you need a shoe that's versatile enough to go with any outfit, durable enough to wear over any terrain, and lightweight enough to make packing a breeze. Being made from insanely comfortable, breezy eucalyptus fiber is a plus, too. When you wear Allbirds travel shoes, you're in vacation mode before you even leave the house. They're the only shoes your suitcase needs. Boarding pass? Check. Passport? Check. The perfect travel shoe? Check. Find your perfect pair of Tree Dashers, Runners, Pipers, and more at allbirds.com. That's ALLBIRDS.com.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cognitive Recalibration podcast. As always, I'm your host Shravan. We got Tyron sitting opposite me today.
Yeah, finally. We could have done this last time, but we didn't.
We didn't. Why didn't we do it? We just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, I was a bit tired. I had a big day.
Fair enough. But yeah, we're in the same room after a very long time.
You live like half an hour away from me, so sometimes the timing doesn't work.
Yeah. But it makes it a lot easier to edit.
It does.
When we're in the same room.
Is this you passively aggressively telling me to show up more? I couldn't, man. Dad Andrew said I couldn't.
We're in the process of sort of setting up a studio, actually. So we'll see if we can actually get a video feed of this happening soon. There'll be a bit of work we need to do in terms of like figuring out how we edit this once it's in video format as well. So we might need to, skill ourselves up a bit, use Final Cut Pro and use a PC, right? So it'll be something else that you use.
Yeah. This is all for you. Yeah.
Anyway, no one cares about that. No one that's listening actually cares about that. But
no one that listening cares about anything. I'm sure if they're listening to us, they don't care about life. Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about Marvel's Shang Chi. This is a very, very delayed episode, but that's because we couldn't actually watch this movie till last week.
Dan Andrews said we couldn't.
Dan Andrews said specifically, just us.
Yeah, he sent me an email.
You two, you're not allowed to watch Shang-Chi.
He sent me an email and a telegram.
Yeah, a telegram. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you receive that?
In the mail.
Okay. So Shang-Chi, what we'll do is like we do for all episodes, we'll
talk about the spoilers first and then
we'll do it in reverse order.
And then we'll do spoiler free after.
Well, for this episode, we probably could do that because almost everyone's actually seen this movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie now, probably not going to watch this movie, are you? Or you're in Melbourne and you just haven't had the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, Sydney was in lockdown as well, so maybe if you're in Australia, maybe you haven't watched it, and maybe some people are just waiting for the Disney Plus release, which is in a couple of weeks. Like next week, I think.
Yeah, don't they have Disney Plus Day or something?
Yeah, and it's coming to Disney Plus on that day.
When's Disney Plus Day?
12th of November. We'll do a bit of the background. So I'll go through the background of the movie. We'll do comic book origins like we always do for these comic book movies. Then we'll do positives and negatives, non-spoilers, and then we'll jump into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can keep listening. All right, a bit of background. So it's directed by Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yes.
I haven't seen any of his previous movies, but he's directed...
Give it to me. I don't think I have, but...
So his first movie was I'm Not a Hipster.
No, haven't seen that.
Directed, written, and produced by him. And he's also the editor for that one.
Okay, yes. Yep.
It's...
All round?
Probably one of those... Like, all of the directors, when their first movies, they kind of like do a bit of everything. Like Christopher Nolan, when he did Following, he did like everything for it, like including everything except like the music. So I think it's that sort of situation here. It's probably an indie movie where he's done a bit of everything.
Yep.
His second movie is Short Term 12.
No.
His third movie is The Glass Castle.
No.
In the same year, 2017, he had the movie called The Shack.
No.
And in 2019, this is probably one you have heard of, he directed Just Mercy.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that. Michael B. Jordan, Brie Larson.
Yes. And apparently Brie Larson's in 4 of these movies.
Okay.
She's in 4 of the movies that I've just listed out. So his latest movie is Shang Chi. They haven't announced anything in terms of sequels or anything for this yet, but...
Yeah, Marvel seems to do this quite a bit where they get a director that does mostly indie stuff and then takes them to do a big Marvel movie.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because everyone that's done a Marvel movie, except maybe Jon Favreau.
There's a couple that are not indie movie directors that get taken to do a Marvel movie. Like there's Jon Favreau, Peyton Reed. Peyton Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he do before?
He does comedy stuff, like Will Ferrell stuff. Edgar Wright, if he did it, he wasn't like an indie one, but he did end up doing it. The Russo brothers.
Shane Black
wasn't indie.
Yeah,
nah,
he'd already done movies.
Yeah.
Russo brothers were pretty indie. Like they did.
Yeah. They were more TV. Yeah. Community was pretty well known. Trying to think who else there is, but there's a lot of indie directors that, especially the recent ones.
Yeah.
Maybe since like Phase 3, it's all been.
I guess Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler wasn't. James
really.
Gunn wasn't.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're not like super well known people.
Yeah,
it's not like they get like, I don't know, Steven Spielberg or something. It's not like they don't get like a well known director.
The most well known one is probably Ryan Coogler before he did Black Panther.
Yeah, and I think the most well known one will be Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I think he's actually the biggest director that
Scott Derrickson did a lot of horror stuff before he did Doctor Strange, so he was pretty well known.
Yeah.
Is he Insidious? Or which one is he? He's one of those. Yeah.
I think it's Insidious. Yeah. Or was it Insidious?
It's Insidious or the other one that starts with I. One of them's James Wan and one of them's him.
Yeah, I think it's Insidious that he did. But I think the biggest director by far is going to be Sam Raimi because he was big even before Spider-Man. Like he did Evil Dead and stuff. And then obviously he did Spider-Man and he's done other stuff after that. But I think he's the first proper big, like actually big director.
Yeah, I think so. The rest of them have been big afterwards. Like James Gunn's huge now. Ryan Coogler's huge still. So yeah, I don't know. But they do a lot of, like the guy that directed Spider-Man, the guy that directed this, Captain Marvel, all those kind of directors, as small directors. Yeah. Even Chloe Zhao. Chloe Zhao.
Yeah, she did, I guess. Well, she won an Oscar, but yeah, she's done.
It's like indie stuff.
Smaller movies before Eternals. Yeah. So a lot of them get big after they do the Marvel movies. I think, like I guess Jon Favreau was also decently big before Iron Man. In terms of cast, so it's basically an all-Asian cast. So it's probably the biggest all-Asian cast since Crazy Rich Asians for a mainstream Hollywood movie. The title role is played by Simu Liu, was famous for
Kim's Convenience,
which
I started watching when he got cast in this because I'm like, I'll watch that, which was 2019 or 18?
19. It was just after Endgame. 19.
Yeah, 19. Yeah. Kim's Convenience, good show. It's very funny.
Yeah. And he's a funny guy. He's
not the funniest in that show, but he's a funny guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And in this I guess he's fun. He's not that funny though.
No.
He's a bit more of a serious character, but
he can do comedy when he wants to, but he's not like who's a funny person. He's not Paul Rudd. He's not Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's not like he's not like a comedic central character.
No.
Like Ant-Man. He's a bit more of a serious character that has quips like Tony Stark, I guess.
Yeah.
Different kind of quips, but yeah. Awkwafina's in this movie, so she's more of
funny.
Comedic relief. I'm going to
Any
put you
all Asian cast, it's got to have Aquafina in it. It's
pretty much, and Michelle Yeoh.
And the guy in the ANZ ads.
Yes, him. What's his name? He's not. He's not actually in the. He plays a pretty small role in this.
Yeah. What's his name? He went to school here, didn't he? Did he go to your school?
University of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to my university. I think he came here to do law. What's his name?
I can't remember. Do you have him on the list?
He's actually not in the main list of characters because he plays a pretty minor role.
If you don't know him, he's the guy in the ANZ ads.
I don't think it's ANZ, actually.
It's ANZ, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think it's Visa. Let's get his name. Ronnie Cheng.
That's him.
Ronnie Cheng. So Ronnie
He
Cheng,
does stand-up comedy as well.
he's in a minor role in this. So that's why he's not in the main list of actors. But the other actors are in this are so Benedict Wong gets a mention as one of the main characters.
What, he gets a mention, but Ronnie Cheng doesn't? This is bullshit.
Fala Chen, who plays Shang-Chi's mother. Meng Zhang, who plays Shang-Chi's sister. Tony Leung, who plays Shang-Chi's father, who's a prominent actor from, I think he's from Hong Kong. He might be
Probably Hong Kong, yeah.
but he's apparently like a really massive actor in China. So
And he's a good actor.
he's
Well, I've never seen him in anything other than this, but in this he was good.
yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
And apparently he's fluent in English, but he's
He
just,
speaks Chinese for most of the movie, but he does speak English at various points.
yeah, and he's well, by all reports, he's actually fluent in English, and he's just never acted in an English movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
because Hollywood's racist.
Okay, so I'll just leave that in.
Yeah, let's just leave that there.
I don't have anything else to say. Runtime is 132 minutes. It came out originally on the 3rd of September. The budget is between 150 and 200 million. Box office wise, so it's actually done really well. 422 million worldwide. I think it's the fifth highest grossing movie this year worldwide. The first one is still a Chinese movie, but Fast 9, F9, is like second or third. It's the highest grossing English language film this year so far. Let's see if something beats it. Maybe Spider-Man.
Maybe, yeah.
What else is coming out next month? Probably not Eternals. Probably Spider-Man, if anything's going to do it. All right, comic book origins. So when do you think Shang-Chi first appeared in the comics?
It was... I'm not good with dates. I know what the origin was, but I can't remember exactly. I'm going to say the origin's very racist, so it's probably early. 60s or 70s.
Yeah, you're not far off. 1973. The first appearance was in Special Marvel Edition 15, number 15. That was the first time he appeared, and then he's got a number of team affiliations, so Avengers being one of them, but Heroes for Hire is another one, Marvel Knights, Secret Avengers, and MI6, which is...
Yeah, I think in the newest iterations, he's like an international spy.
Okay, but he works for the British agency.
They hired him as a mercenary.
Agents of Atlas. I haven't heard of this, but apparently he was part of that. And also the Protectors and Underground are the teams that he's been involved with, both which I haven't heard of. Have you heard of them?
Protectors and Underground? No. I've heard of some of the other ones.
Marvel Knights?
Yeah. Moon Knight's in that.
Maybe they're going to do Marvel Knights.
They could do that, yeah.
Because there's a Moon Knight show coming up. In terms of partnerships, so he's had partnerships with Iron Fist, which...
That's Heroes for Hire.
Makes sense.
And they're both martial arts guys.
Yeah. And Swordmaster, who I don't know who that is. And that's, those are sort of his main partnerships. And then...
I got an interesting question for you. Who do you think debuted first in the comics, Iron Fist or Shang-Chi?
Probably Iron Fist.
No, Shang-Chi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That actually surprises me, but yeah.
Yeah. Surprised me as well when I heard that. Yeah.
So Iron Fist was post 1973.
Apparently.
Is his origin linked with Shang-Chi?
No.
So it's just a separate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But doesn't he have some dragon?
He's got a dragon
situation
thing as
happening?
well. Yeah. But Shang-Chi's not, we'll go into it in this movie. Shang-Chi's not superpowered.
He is not. Oh,
He's not.
isn't there some chi stuff happening? Like he can... Yeah.
There's chi stuff, but he's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's minor chi stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we'll go into it when we go into the movie, but I think there's some stuff we need to discuss about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of his abilities, we're kind of just talking about it now. So he's a master of martial arts, That's his key ability in the comics.
I read some list. I think it was Decider.com. And they ranked Shang-Chi as the number one martial arts in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, definitely in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but
Yep.
I think in general.
In the Marvel Universe.
In the Marvel-
Overall, yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. Was Iron Fist like second?
No. There's other guys.
Who are better? Okay.
Like there's these 5 guys. There's 5 guys who are like the martial arts specialists in the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
I forget if you said their names, I'll know what they are, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
But it makes sense that Shang-Chi is probably number one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in the comics as well, his ability is he's a master martial artist. So his other abilities in the comics is mastery of chi. And formerly, he used to have an ability where he can duplicate himself.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
I don't think that's going to be in this version anyway.
No.
All right. That's in terms of comic book stuff. So we can get into the movie, non-spoilers, our thoughts on it. So I'll start with one positive. So I think it was good because it was something different for the MCU in terms of like this oriental side of the MCU that we haven't explored yet. And I guess it is a martial arts movie. Like it's an MCU movie, but it's also a martial arts movie. So it was a slightly different genre that we haven't explored yet in the MCU. I would say it's probably got the best fight scenes in terms of like hand-to-hand fight scenes in the MCU. Probably the closest that comes to this is probably
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah. It's either this or Winter Soldier. They're the best hand-to-hand.
Yeah.
This is like very fast-paced. Like, remember when we used to watch like Jackie Chan movies back in the day? That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, and there's actually a slight nod to Jackie Chan movies in one of the action sequences. We can talk about it in the spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah, but it reminded me a lot of Jackie Chan stuff. It's like fast, like lots of quick punches, like you doing like split kicks in the air and stuff like that, and always like side camera angles so you can see them fighting. It's very like Hong Kong mixed martial arts kind of stuff.
That was really good. Any other positives? I've got a couple more, but you can list some of yours.
You go one more. I'll just chime in the middle as you're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soundtrack was pretty good.
Yeah.
Soundtrack and score were all pretty good.
That was, the theme was one of the best themes, I reckon.
Yeah.
Sometimes the like Captain Marvel theme, I have no idea what it is. But like this, I can
remember it.
Remember, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the themes in the
forgettable.
MCU are a bit forgettable. Like, what's Thor's theme? Yeah.
Don't know. For most of them, you just associate the Avengers theme to it instead because,
Same with, I guess Captain America's theme is slightly more memorable. I think I sort of remember how it goes like.
Yeah,
but,
it's like patriotic-ish.
Yeah.
But this theme was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the second or third best music in the MCU. I would go Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Black Panther 2, and then this.
Black Panther 1.
Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther is the second best one.
Yeah.
But not the second movie. The first movie is the second best one.
I'm thinking of which other movies had good music, but probably those two.
Tony Leung. That was my positive. He's amazing in this. Yeah. Definitely standout character and performance.
Yeah, I think it was really good. Brought a bit of, I guess, like prestige to the movie as well. Like he's meant to be like a really well-known actor, and he the way he played the character was completely believable. So it made sense, especially the character that he plays. I don't think this is a spoiler, but he plays the Mandarin. I think we already know that. He did a good job with that. In terms of other positives, I thought the dynamics between the characters were all really good. So it's actually a bit of a family movie. It's got a lot of like family elements to it. Is it the first movie that's actually? I know you argue that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a family movie.
It is a family movie.
But I think it's actually the first MCU movie that actually...
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. But this is... Black Panther is, because it's about him and his father and
his nephew and...
Black Panther is. But this is another family movie. This actually reminds me a little bit of Black Panther because only because it's like that was an all...
It's a different culture.
Yeah. That was like an all African-American cast and a different culture. This is also a different culture and it's kind of...
You go to a place that is not connected to the Western world as much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the characters are characters that we haven't really seen before. So that was really good. a small thing, like there are a number of scenes that they go back to, and you kind of seen those scenes from a different character's perspective throughout the whole movie, but they never repeat the scene, so it kind of like adds on to the scene. You probably have to watch this again to notice this, but I noticed this in the movie. But like there's scenes where they show the Mandarin and Shang-Chi, like they show when Shang-Chi was born and then when he's like growing up, and they kind of flick back to those same scenes, but they cut it, and when they flick back to it, it's like a continuation of that scene, but it's from another character's perspective.
Yep.
Like
I think one particular circumstance of that is when a certain thing happens and you see it from a distance and you don't know what the person's saying, but then later they flick back to the scene and you see what the person said to Shang-Chi as a kid at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really good because generally when they do scenes like that, they tend to repeat the dialogues. Like they just show the same thing again. But they didn't do that, and they kind of kept it interesting. So that was good. Yeah, I mean, that was third act gets pretty fantastical.
Classic Marvel kind of fight. And
I didn't mind it, but it was a little bit of a departure from the rest of the movie, but I didn't mind it. In terms of stuff that I'm, not me, but I think people might not like it as much is the humor. I actually didn't mind the humor, but this is a general criticism of all MCU movies, is that they tend to put in humor a bit too much. Like maybe in places where they're not, where they could have had a bit more emotional depth, they kind of fill in with a joke. And there's some parts towards the third act. In the third act, there's some parts where it's played a bit for comedy where it could have been a bit more serious. But
I think that criticism is overused, and at this point, it's just used by people that don't like Marvel movies to say this is why Marvel movies are bad. Literally, if you don't like the humor that they use in it, then you're not going to like any of the Marvel movies, because as much as they probably don't say that they do this, they follow a formula, all of them, and they all have some level of humor in them. Yeah. And it's just the formula that they found that works, so they're going to stick with it. So I don't know if you could level that against Marvel movies to say that the humor's not good, because there's 90% of the people that like the humor, there's 10% that don't like it. So for that 10%, it's going to be the same criticism for every single Marvel movie.
And they probably won't. This is probably not going to change your mind on it.
No.
But if the humor is genuinely, like, it's not like it's not funny. Like it is fun. It's not like laugh out loud funny, but it's like funny. If it gets to a stage where it's actually not funny, like the jokes are actually not funny, then maybe. But I thought the jokes were fine. So
I assure you, for every Marvel movie that we review for the rest of time, that they might eventually get bad, but everyone's criticism will be like, nah, they use the humor too much.
But it's what makes it a Marvel movie. So
yeah, I guess if you don't like that, then you don't like Marvel movies. So
yeah, but yeah, that's just one thing I'd point out. It's not like a comedy. There's not like heaps of jokes. There's jokes. I think some of the character motivations were a little, like, you do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit with some of them. Like there were some things where I was like, would he really do this after everything that's happened? That was it. Like I didn't mind it. A couple of the power-ups, like certain characters realize they have certain powers and they kind of naturally just start to know how to use them, which was interesting. But again, I just went with that, so it wasn't a big drawback.
Yeah. The movie gets fantastical at the end, so I guess you have to suspend your disbelief with certain things. And if you don't, then, yeah, it's not going to make sense.
Yeah.
It's not a movie that you got to be like, oh, no, you can't do that, because if you're traveling at 25 miles per hour, then you can only jump 2 meters per second. And then if you jump that, you're not going to make that distance in that amount of time. It's like, fuck that. There's rings that bloody blast power in this universe. So, yeah.
If you don't like any of that stuff, you're probably not going to like the movie. So,
but if you don't like that stuff, like, why are you watching superhero movies? Because they're all bloody fantastical.
Yeah. So it's not going to be the movie that changes if you don't like MCU movies or superhero movies. This is not going to be the one.
My opinion now is that if you don't like MCU movies, there's no movie that's coming up that's going to change your mind. They've done it all. There's nothing that they can do that will be, it's like, oh, I didn't like Avengers Endgame, but, this is going to swing my opinion on MCU movies now. There's nothing that they can do that will turn people over.
Probably not. Yeah. I can't think of anything that would change anyone's mind. So, yeah.
Yeah. There'll be movies that are worse than other movies that might turn people off, but there won't be a movie that will be like, oh, this is a game changer. This is going to change everything.
I think that's all I had. I would say the messages, there are some like message about family and stuff in the movie, which were fine. I liked them. About family and also about reaching your potential. I think that's like an underlying theme in the movie because more than Shang Chi, it's actually Awkwafina's character that's a bit of a kind of just living life. Doesn't really have any aim. So it's kind of, I think it was more tailored to her character, but also it kind of applies to Shang-Chi as well. Cool. All right. We didn't really talk about the story, but...
Guy does martial arts.
Does martial arts, yeah.
It's rings.
And there's rings involved.
Yeah, it's 10 rings.
Yeah.
But they're not like rings for your fingers. They're like bracelets. Yeah.
You know, well, in the comic, there actually are like
rings for your fingers.
Rings for your fingers, but... I think they didn't want to do that because of the Infinity
It's too
Stones.
much like Infinity Stones. Yeah, and in the comics, each one does a different thing as well.
Yeah, and this one just looks like they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just add more. They just shoot beams.
Yeah, more rings, more beams.
Yeah. All right. I give it a cognitive recalibration. It was definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, this is the best Phase 4 movie for me.
Well, there's only been 2 so far. So
There's been 3, you lie.
what's the third one?
Spider-Man.
Which Spider-Man? No, that's technically Phase 4, actually. You mean Far From Home?
I said Phase 4.
Phase 3. That's technically Phase 3.
Far From Home?
Yeah.
I thought it was Phase 4.
Nah, I think it counts as... They always do this thing how the Avengers movie
It's not
should
the
be the
last.
last one, but it's not. Like Ant-Man was in Phase 2, but it came out
You could be
after.
right.
I'm pretty sure it's meant to be Phase 3.
Well, it's the best post-Endgame movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so. It's definitely better than Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
We'll see next week. Well, next week we've got another MCU. Like, not next week. In a couple of days we've got another MCU movie. So we'll see how that one goes. All right. We can jump into spoilers. So if you haven't seen Shang-Chi and you care about spoilers, go watch it and come back to this point. I'll put the timestamps in the description and you can listen to our spoilers. What did we want to cover?
All right, let's do some wild speculation.
Okay. Based off the post-credit scenes?
No, let's go through the main hitting points of the movie. So the Mandarin, he confirms himself to be the Mandarin, I guess.
Yeah, and he has this whole speech about names and the importance of names, and how he had many names. So he's like thousands of years old or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
And
of the rings, right?
And they do mention, people thought they would go through this movie without mentioning Iron Man 3, because obviously in Iron Man 3, Ben Kingsley says he's the Mandarin, but he's not the Mandarin. But essentially, they do kind of cover it. They essentially stole this guy's identity to terrorize the US government.
Essentially, and he wasn't very happy about it.
He wasn't involved at all. So people thought he might have been involved in the sidelines or something, so he wasn't involved. Yeah, I thought it was good that they mentioned it, because it would have been awkward if they didn't.
Yeah, they probably could have got away with not mentioning it, but they did, and they also brought back Ben Kingsley.
They brought back Ben Kingsley,
Yeah,
and he
which-
was great. He was hilarious.
He was hilarious, but I'm thinking if he wasn't in the movie, would it make any difference? And the answer is probably no.
No, but does it make the movie better? Yes. Yeah.
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 He was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
And he
He's
also
got
has
this little
Morris.
Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
For some reason, he's the only one that can communicate with it
I'm guessing because they've been
together for so long.
together for so long, they've got a bond.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He comes in sort of in the second half of the movie.
I knew he was in it because it got spoiled for me, but I didn't know he was in it for that long, because he's in it for longer than I thought he was.
Yeah, I thought it would just be a small cameo, but he's sort of in it for a little bit longer. So the rings, they don't really explain where he got the rings from.
Yeah, but we get to them in the post credits, but there is kind of a stinger about that, which we'll speculate on.
So he has had the rings for, it seems like thousands of years, or a very,
he's been alive for a long time.
Very long time. And basically because he has the rings, he's immortal, essentially. He's been like conquering civilizations and stuff in that time, and then he's been working in the shadows, and he meets, there's this like mystic forest or something that he wants to discover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the name for it? It was Ta something. Ta Lao?
I think you're right. I think it's Talao.
Yeah, so this is the part where you know how you said Shang-Chi has chi powers. So his mum is from the forest, from the mystic forest, and she's got the chi powers, and the dad has the rings, and then they fall in love. But then when the mum leaves the chi forest, she loses her chi powers.
Yes.
So when Shang-Chi leaves the chi forest, he's going to lose his chi powers as well.
Okay, so when he leaves Ta Lao, it is Ta Lao.
Yeah.
So when he leaves Ta Lao, he won't have those powers anymore.
Yeah, because he only uses his chi powers in Ta Lao from memory.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's where he discovers them, yes.
Yeah, so
But he has the rings now, so...
he's got the rings. So if you look at Shang-Chi's comic book costume, he has like gold bracelets on his arms.
Yeah.
I think they're replacing the gold bracelets with the rings. Yeah.
What are the bracelets in the comic, though? They're just
bracelets. I think they're like
fashion
Wonder
accessory.
Woman bracelets.
I guess that
So
makes
I don't
sense,
think I don't think he'll have the chi powers. I think he's just going to be a guy, and I don't think he'll use the rings that much either, because essentially the rings drive his dad mad anyway.
Well, I think it was bad to begin with. I don't think that the rings were like...
Yeah, but they drive him a bit crazy because he wears them for so long.
I guess it's like having a Horcrux.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Yeah,
But
so
we'll see,
he
'cause-
wants to break into Ta Lao. The whole conflict of the story, he wants to break into Ta Lao to get his wife, but his wife's not
Yeah,
there.
because his wife passes away because of...
Yeah,
Basically because of him.
yeah. Some guys come and
Yeah.
kill her. Yeah,
And then he starts hearing his wife's voice to come to Ta Lao and break. It's like there's like a big wall on a mountain where there's dark souls, I think they say there, the dark souls.
stuff that steal orbs out of you. They get the orb in you. Everyone has an orb. Takes your orb out. It's a nice glowy orb.
That they've been calling out to him to come and open the wall or the gate. It's like a big crater, I guess. Anyway, they want him to come and open it, and they know that the rings have the power to open them. They say that other people have tried to open it, but they haven't been able to. And and then there's a dragon as well.
There's a dragon. He falls in the ocean, and there's a dragon in the ocean.
Yeah,
But there's another dragon in behind the wall as well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's two dragons. One's
Two dragons.
One's
One's ugly and one's a bit more less ugly.
yeah. So they didn't really explain this dragon.
The dragon is the dragon's part of his origin. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, so they didn't really explain much about the dragon. It might have been helpful if we got a bit of background on what these.
I don't need to know
situations-
much about the dragon. I'm happy not knowing about the dragon.
It just reminds me of
I think the dragon grants them the chi powers.
maybe, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it reminds me of Ryan the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Where there is dragons and
Also has Aquafina.
yes, it also has Aquafina. We're kind of skipping to the third act, but in between there's
The Abomination Wong fight is in between.
So that was just
Unfortunately
sort of-
spoiled in the trailer, but it's basically just that, what was in the trailer.
pretty much
Yeah.
what was in the trailer.
Yeah.
And Wong beats him. It seems like they're like friends.
Yeah, I think that will be explored somewhere else. I don't know where, but it will. I know the Abomination is showing up in the She-Hulk TV series,
Yes,
so that may be where they'll discuss it next. I don't know if Wong's in that, though.
because Wong's in Spider-Man.
Wong's in Spider-Man. Wong's in Doctor Strange. Maybe Wong's going to be like the Nick Fury of this phase and just show up in everyone.
Maybe. What else has he been in?
He's been in Avengers,
Yes.
Yeah.
Endgame.
Endgame.
Yeah. And
He's been in
Infinity
Doctor
War.
Strange,
Yeah. It's been Doctor Strange.
and that's it.
Yeah. I think he's going to probably turn up in other stuff.
His sister, Shang-Chi's sister, runs the fight competition, and they're fighting there, essentially. That was okay. It would have been better if it was a surprise, though, if they didn't have it in the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't
probably-
think they needed that in the trailer.
Yeah, it didn't really have to be in there because it's such it's such an inconsequential part of the story. It doesn't actually add anything to the story.
If it was a bigger part of the story and they put it in the trailer, it would be like, fair enough.
yeah.
But-
Because I thought he'd fight one of them,
One of them, yeah.
but he doesn't.
No, he doesn't, yeah.
He probably would have lost, to be honest.
To either of them.
To
yeah.
either of them,
Yeah, yeah.
He just ends up fighting his sister, and he actually, he's
But
not.
maybe he'll beat the Abomination. I don't know.
He's not that strong though.
So, like, Shang-Chi he's meant to be so good at martial arts that if you're not trained in martial arts, he can beat you in one move, no matter what.
But I guess
The only people he versus in this movie are good at martial arts as well. So,
maybe he could beat the Abomination. I'm just thinking the Abomination's like pretty strong though.
but martial arts isn't about strength sometimes, is it? So, yeah.
So maybe he could
Yeah,
beat it.
I think it would be interesting to see how he would go against someone that doesn't know anything about martial arts, but that's really strong.
But that's really strong, like the Hulk or something.
Yeah,
Wong would probably beat him though.
yeah, he's magic. He's got, but with the rings, I think Shang-Chi beats both of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
He probably won't beat Doctor Strange though,
nah,
or Captain Marvel. She probably knows
martial
some
arts. She knows like space martial arts.
of the people that are alive, I guess. Spider-Man doesn't know martial arts, right?
No,
He's
I think
just
he would beat Spider-Man.
maybe.
Yeah, I think he would. But maybe not at the level he is in this movie, but I'm guessing he's going to train a bit more. And
Well, they do say that he's trained since he was a kid,
since
right?
like, yeah, when he was 14, he was already like a trained killer,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
And well, it's just been dormant in him because in the trailers you see this, but there's like this bus action sequence, and obviously no one knew that he had. No one in San Francisco knew that he had powers.
Yeah, yeah.
Not powers, but he was really good at martial arts. So
I think he would take down more people than we suspect he would.
yeah, of the people that are still alive in the MCU, he could probably take down most of them.
Most of them, yeah. But depends how powerful they're going to make him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why we probably don't know until he versus someone that's like, I don't know, until he versus like Hawkeye or something. It takes him out in like one move. Yeah.
I always like seeing Hawkeye fight anyone in the MCU.
That's what we did. We did a fight between Hawkeye and Shang-Chi, and then we could gauge how strong Shang-Chi is.
Yeah. I don't think he's turning up in the Hawkeye.
No, I don't think
TV
so.
series, but yeah. Anything else that happens in the story that we haven't really covered?
So the sister, we haven't really covered anything about her. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's basically lived in the shadow of Shang-Chi her whole life.
But she knows martial arts as well.
She wasn't allowed to train with the men, but she learnt by herself.
Self-taught, yeah.
Basically, her father, after their mother died, her father didn't really care about her.
Stick-taught her. Shang-Chi leaves when he's 14 and never comes back.
Well, he said he'd come back in 3 days, but he
never comes back.
Well, technically, he never came back. So
yeah, and there is a bit of a grey area in terms of did they meet each other in between when he was 14 and when they meet at the fighting comp?
I don't think so.
They never met in between that time.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a bit of a dog act by him.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he would have at least wanted to see his sister, but obviously he didn't care about her either.
Yeah.
So the whole first act, it's a little bit of a, like when you think about it after you watch the movie, it's kind of like, did they have to do it that way?
It's a fetch quest.
Yeah, because it didn't really have to, because the whole point of that whole setup was that they could get him and his sister to come to Ta Lao.
Yep.
So why did they have to get him to fight that guy on the bus and then steal his gem or whatever, and then get him to go to Macau to get his sister and then steal her gem and then get them to both come? Like it seemed like a bit of a, did they just want to test their martial arts skills? Was that what was happening?
I'll give you this. They wanted more Twitch views for that guy on the bus.
Yeah.
That's the first reason. Second reason, they want to go to Macau to put some bets on. They had some money to spare.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they had to go to Macau, and they're like, might as well just bring this guy to Macau as well.
Yeah.
And that's all the reasons they had.
I guess so.
But no,
Yeah.
you're correct. They didn't need to do it that way.
Yeah. I guess we wouldn't have half the movie. And we need to see like Shang-Chi's skills, and
Yep.
we need to have that discovery between him and Aquafina, I guess, like to build on their relationship, and I guess build on the relationship between him and his sister as well. And
And you could be right in terms of maybe it was testing them to just see how their martial arts skills were.
yeah, but what if they died? Well, he was wrong.
I don't think he would care, honestly, at that point.
Yeah. But also, he didn't need them, because when he did get them, 10 minutes later, he puts them in jail.
I think he thought they would be happy, and then he's like, wait, you're not happy, I'm putting you in jail. Because he's like, he wants to have his son and daughter back. He's like, oh, welcome back.
Yeah.
He's like happy to see them.
And he also knew that where Shang-Chi was the whole time.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'll get them back, and I'll get my wife back, and the whole family will be back together.
Yeah.
But then they're like, you're crazy. And he's like, no, you're crazy. Go to jail.
So basically, I think he knew where Shang-Chi was. Well, he says he knew where he was, and he let him just spend 10 years in America. And he probably also knew where the sister was as well. He just let them have a good time for a bit before he got them back. But yeah, like that whole first act, it was fun when you're watching it, but then when you think about it, you're like, that probably didn't need to happen the way it did.
Yeah. Yep. But it needs to happen for the movie to happen. So, yeah.
Also, Aquafina, I forgot her character's name, but
Katie,
yeah.
Katie, yeah.
She is just a normal person.
Yeah, she is.
She's just a normal person.
It is weird that she learns how to bloody shoot arrows like a pro in 2 days.
Yeah, maybe she was always destined to do that. Yeah. But there's other situations that she's put into, like she has to hang off the side of a building in Macau.
Yeah.
Normal people wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Somehow survives. Yeah. Superhero logic, I guess.
Yeah, and also in the post-credit scene, I get why Wong wants to talk to Shang-Chi. I don't get why he wants her there as well.
Okay, maybe he's into her.
It seems a bit wrong. He's like at least 30 years older than her, but yeah.
I don't know. He's what?
They also do go out and have a karaoke session.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's two underlying messages in the movie. So one of them is around finding your potential, I guess. So Awkwafina's character is the one sort of centered around this, but also Shang-Chi. So they have these friends, these two friends that they catch up with at the start of the movie, and one of them's sort of giving them a bit of a hard time, saying that they're not really growing up and they're content with working at a hotel as I think they work in one of the hotels in San Francisco, and they're just content with driving cars and being valets at that hotel. And then they have this situation afterwards where they're both talking about, we're doing a really tough job, and I don't know why people aren't appreciating us. So that's sort of a conversation they have. But obviously they both know that they're not really reaching their potential with what they're doing at the moment. So that's sort of an underlying message in the movie where Awkwafina discovers that she should, aim to do something a bit more. And then obviously Shang-Chi as well, being Shang-Chi, he discovers that he could do a little bit more as well. The second message is around, I guess, the importance of family and your family roots and how much that has an impact on you. And when Shang-Chi's in Ta Lao and he's trying to discover his chi, his aunt tells him something that's pretty important, is that he's forgetting one part of his heritage, and he kind of didn't want to become like his dad, but he has to kind of accept that there's a part of his dad in him. That doesn't mean that he'll become like his dad, because in the end he refuses to kill his dad anyway, but it's kind of rising above your bloodlines. So there's
I think that's part of it, and also he had to accept himself.
Yeah.
Because he was in denial that he killed that bloke.
That's true as well. Yeah.
But then, he did kill that bloke. He's like, I did it. And I'll kill more now. I'm a killer now. Gonna kill this dragon after I ride it. Sell the meat in China.
Don't they use the dragon skin or something as well? Aren't their armors made out of dragon skin?
They are. Yeah. They make the weapons out of it.
Yeah, I think that those two messages were pretty good. Because in Asian culture, and I think it's the same in the culture that we come from, there's like a lot of importance around like family, I guess. Like if you're born to someone, then you should be at least as great as them. I think there's that people just want that to happen, I guess. Like they want you to become like your family. And they kind of explore that a little bit here. So it was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now we move on to rampant speculation.
Yeah. Post-credit scenes. So firstly, there's two post-credit scenes, a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is when Wong turns up. I talked about their friends. I think their friends are a bit judgy, to be honest. Especially the girl. She's a bit.
Yeah. Just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean everyone needs to be a bloody lawyer.
Yeah, you can be a
Get off your bloody high horse, you bitch.
But then they sort of get it back, saying that, they just saved the universe. Then Wong turns up and he calls Shang-Chi and Aquafina to join him. That's at the end of the movie, isn't it? And then we go into the post-credit scene. Or is this in the post-credit scene?
It's in the post-credit scene, I'm pretty sure.
What shot does it end on in the movie? I thought it ends on them going into the portal, and then it goes to the post-credit scene.
Maybe you're right.
Because I don't think that girl, their friends were in the post-credit scene.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just Wong and
You're
so
potentially right there.
yeah. So
Or that could have all been the post-credit scene. It could have ended on a different shot entirely.
yeah, I think it ends with his portal closing, and then it cuts to the credits. But yeah, in the post-credit scene, so you got Wong, and he's kind of trying to figure out what's going on with these rings, and then you've got via holographic conference.
So there's a couple of important things that happened off the bat here with the holographic conference.
Yes,
So you got Bruce Banner there.
yes,
And firstly, importantly, he's not the Hulk Bruce Banner anymore. He's just Bruce Banner.
and this is post Endgame.
Yeah, so his arm's still in a sling. So first off, his arm's still injured. So that hasn't healed yet.
Secondly, he's figured out a way to turn back into
He's
Bruce
turned
Banner.
back into Bruce Banner. So
Or they forgot, but they wouldn't have.
yeah, no, they wouldn't have forgotten. It could have been budgetary, but I think it's also
So get Hulk in that scene. Yeah,
yeah,
it might be.
but I think it's also kind of important-ish. So his arm's still injured, so he's not full powered.
Yeah.
But also he turned back into normal Bruce Banner. So I don't know if he's going to turn back into the Hulk afterwards, or if he's going to turn back into Professor Hulk afterwards. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting.
Obviously, another link to the She-Hulk.
He's in She-Hulk as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe he has to appear as Hulk, as Bruce Banner in that series
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And then Captain Marvel. is
Captain
also-
Marvel. Well, and yeah, she's in it, I guess.
I think
there was nothing I
she's-
could point out there that she looked like she was still in space. So
She was still in space. She
Yeah.
got an important call and she had to go somewhere. I think she was in it. Maybe there's a story reason for it, but I think she was also in it because the director has done 3 other movies with her before this.
yeah, yeah.
And maybe he could just get her in as a favor. So, and what would she know about the rings? Because she hasn't really been
So
around.
she's
that long.
alien origin, so she's alien specialist.
I guess so,
Yeah,
but she's also not like. Well, I guess so. Yeah, I guess she brings some expertise from
Yeah.
the alien side, and then Bruce has got the gamma radiation stuff that he
Yeah.
knows about, and then Wong's got the mystic side. Question is, where's the Doctor?
yeah. So this might be below his pay grade. So,
A lot of stuff seems to be like he's getting paid quite a bit then because
Yeah.
he's not getting involved in a lot of stuff.
it has to be a bloody A-level threat, otherwise he's not there. Yeah,
Because there's a lot of stuff that's happened so far in the TV shows and in the movies where he could get involved, but he hasn't got involved.
maybe he's just making teas in the next room.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
So WandaVision was one where I guess he didn't have to get involved, but he probably needs to know about what happened there. And then Loki is something he definitely should know about. And this, I thought he would.
I don't think it's like anything major that
Yeah.
he would have to.
I guess this isn't world end. Like it's
No.
just they just found some stuff. I guess
Yeah.
he didn't need to get involved in this.
So yeah, now we can rampantly speculate about what the problem is. So the rings, essentially, when Shang-Chi used them, sent a signal to someone. So who did they send the signal to? That's the question. And
Yes.
I think it's definitely an evil threat. I don't think it's sending a signal to like Adam Warlock or something.
I don't really know because they do say it's thousands and thousands of years old. So there is some speculation that it's linked to Eternals in some way because they're very, very old.
I thought of that, and then I'm like, no, they're not going to. If it was linked to Eternals, then it'll be addressed in the next movie. And Shang-Chi is probably not in the next movie because that movie's already got too many characters. So,
Well, I don't think it'll
no.
be addressed in Eternals, but it might be linked to the Eternals. So in some way.
Possibly, but I'm thinking probably no. That's a possibility. Let's put a maybe in that.
I don't think it's Kang.
I don't think it's Kang either, but that's a maybe as well. Like it could possibly be Kang origin. Like he went to its future origin stuff, which is why they can't figure out what it is. And then he went to the past and left it there or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's him.
I don't think it's him either. I've got a theory that I think it's the most likely one, but also it kind of doesn't make sense. But I think it might be the Skrulls.
Are they that old as a civilization?
Yeah.
Okay. But the Skrulls have already been on Earth, so why would it?
Which is why it kind of doesn't make sense. But the Skrulls that were on Earth were the peaceful Skrulls. But I think there's going to be like
The evil ones.
the evil ones as well.
Well, there is that Secret Invasion show coming.
So I think it might be linking to that in some way.
Yeah, I don't know. They're also not that technologically advanced, are they, as a civilization? Like, they're advanced, but they're not like 10 Rings advanced.
Possibly. But my most if I'm looking at what's coming up that we know of, the Skrulls are probably the most likely ones.
Other thing is, it could be a mystic-related thing. Like, these rings could be some sort of mystic instruments. Because even when they go through into Tala, there's, they go through these, like water.
They go through the,
water portal things, which are kind of look like the Doctor Strange portal things. So
okay, so we'll chuck Mephisto in there as well then. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Yep, he's a maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Mephisto can. I don't think he needs a signal to turn up as such, unless
maybe he does. Maybe that's why he hasn't shown up yet. He's waiting for his signal. It's like side of the stage, and he's just waiting for the light to flash for him to come onto stage.
Yeah, so it could be him, but I think everything will have some relation to Doctor Strange and the madness in the multiverse.
Because it is a Shang Chi. I don't think it's going to be related to that. I think it'll be related to an Avengers movie threat or the Secret Invasion, something like that.
Possibly.
We don't know what the next Avengers thing is going to be yet, because I don't think Shang-Chi is in Doctor Strange. Multiverse
as far as we know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people in that movie, but I don't think
he's as far as I know, he's not in it. If he's in it, then it's a possibility that it relates to that movie somehow. But why would they give him the rings and then he calls in a threat and then he's not even in the movie that the threat's in?
I don't think the threat turns up in that movie, possibly. I think Doctor Strange will be about other stuff, but maybe they address it in the post-credit scene in that movie.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Or Eternals. Could be. We could find out in a couple of days, but let's see.
Yeah. No, look, the threat in the Eternals movie, we already know what it is. I don't think if you watch the trailer, they kind of say how the threat comes in. So
yeah,
I don't think it's
not that.
I don't think it's that. Yeah.
Galactus.
That would actually make sense. Yeah. The Galactus possibly. Yeah.
But why?
Or like Silver Surfer or something like that.
Could be.
Maybe he sends the rings to planets, and then when the planet's powerful enough, he eats them.
Yeah, but they all seem to be on Earth, so maybe someone found.
Maybe there's like millions of rings.
Maybe there's more than 10.
Okay, so that's rampant speculation number one.
Yes, the second post-credit scene is, and this one I don't think there's that much to say about it, but it looks like the 10 rings are still functioning, but they're just under Shang Chi's sister. I don't know her. I don't know how to pronounce her actual name. Zhang Li or something, right?
No, it's not Li. What's
Zhang Zi? It's Zhu Jiang. Zhu Zielang. So XU is her first name. Part of her first name. And then Xialing.
Yeah, so Zhu, the first Zhu, that's their last name.
Oh, okay.
In Chinese, the last name comes first, and then the first name comes second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
Because they call her
Zhang Lang.
Yeah.
What was it?
Jianglang.
Jianglang.
Or Jialing, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's running the 10 rings now.
With Ronnie Chang.
Oh, was he there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was there. And the guy
and
with
the guy without the hand, yeah.
The sword hand.
Sword hand guy, yeah.
Are they running it for... she's not bad, right? So
I think it's going to be like kind of... She's not bad, but she wants to... She'll do whatever she needs to get money, I think. She's running like a fight ring.
Aren't they rich?
Yeah, so she'll keep the empire going to keep the money going.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll do...
They won't do like seriously bad things, but they'll do like smuggling and shit like that.
Yeah, it looks like she's on good terms with Shang Chi, so
yeah,
it's all good.
Well, I don't know if you've heard about this, but she's got a TV show coming up.
Just her?
Just her, yeah.
What's it called?
I think it's they haven't said the name yet.
Okay,
but it'll probably be something in the 10 rings.
Her name and
the 10 rings, maybe.
Xialing and the 10 rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that post-credit scene alludes to. It's the TV show. All right, let's rapidly speculate about the whole plot of the TV show.
Well, they do say the Ten Rings will return. So, a couple of loose ends with the Ten Rings. Wally Goggins in Ant-Man 2. Who was he working for?
We don't know yet. That could be anyone.
Because there was speculation that he was working for the Mandarin, but
Yeah.
was he?
Nah. Could have been someone else. Could be Doctor Doom.
Could be Doctor Doom. Yeah.
Could be Doctor Strange.
For some reason. Yeah, why not?
Could be Mephisto.
Yeah, could be anyone. Or could be that lady, what's her name? The lady that's recruiting people, the reverse Avengers or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Christine
Is that her name? Yeah.
from Seinfeld.
Yeah, her. Yeah.
Yep.
Could be her.
Christine from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Not the character from the movies.
Yeah.
It's Christine from Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld's in on it as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And Kramer.
And Kramer. Yeah.
Yep. The other guy is Alexander. Jason Alexander. He's not in on it.
Nah.
They didn't tell him.
Nah.
Yeah. What's his name in the show? Can't remember.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone else is in on it, especially Kramer. Kramer's the head of the operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just walks in like he, you know how he walks in
Yeah.
to rooms? He walks
Yeah,
in
like he bangs the door open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's them.
Yeah.
So it could be anyone.
It's those three people. Yeah.
That's what the show's going to be about. The show they haven't announced yet.
Yeah. It's called Seinfeld.
MCU edition.
Yeah.
Anything else on that? I think that's...
Guess that's all we can rapidly speculate about.
When's that show coming out?
I don't know. They've just announced it.
A bit of trivia. So we were just talking about Wong. So this is the first movie featuring Wong without Doctor Strange. In all the other stuff, he's always featured with Doctor Strange. He's in Spider-Man No Way Home, but Doctor Strange is also in that one. In the late 1980s, Stan Lee had considered a film or TV series about Shang Chi and had in mind Brandon Lee, so the son of Bruce Lee. And Shang Chi was visually based on Bruce Lee, so it made sense to get Brandon Lee, but apparently the plans fell through.
Yeah. Shang-Chi in the comics looks like Bruce Lee. He's got the same kind of hair.
And he also doesn't wear a shirt.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I think that scene where he has to take off his shirt for no reason at all because he's just fighting.
Yeah. It's because Roddy Chang's into abs.
Simu Liu tweeted in December 2018 about asking Marvel for the role, and later he retweeted that
It worked.
He got the role, so
Yeah.
it worked. Maybe I should just tweet out that I want to be, I don't know,
Miss Marvel.
I think I'm a bit late for that, but yeah.
You want to be Miss Marvel's dad.
I'm probably a bit early for that, but yeah,
You could do Miss Marvel's dad if you wanted.
I probably could. Just
Yeah.
age me up a little bit.
Yeah.
How old is she? Like 12?
12 or something. Yeah.
Just age me up. Like,
13, maybe 14. Yeah.
age me up 15 years and
Yeah.
I could probably do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh is the second actor to get a double role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who was the other actor?
She's the second actor.
Yeah. So she was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as a different character.
Is this upcoming as well, or is it just up till now? So does Eternals count?
Eternals counts.
Okay, it's like Chicken Eternals because she's in Captain Marvel and yeah.
As different characters. Gemma Chan. And Laura Haddock also had a part in Captain America the First Avenger before she was playing Peter Quill's mother in Guardians of the Galaxy. The producers briefly discussed the idea of bringing in Ant-Man as Shang-Chi
because
was
it's
living in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But ultimately decided that it would derail the main story. And they're not actually in San Fran for that long.
Yeah, because they need to go put bets on in Macau.
I think Ant-Man is the only other.
East Coast?
Yeah. West Coast.
West Coast?
Yeah.
I know my Southeast, West, Norths. I said that in a weird order, but let's not talk about that. Yeah, everyone else is like New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got too many superheroes in New York.
They've got too many superheroes in America.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be.
Well, and like a lot of them are concentrated in New York. Like, branch out a little bit.
So Spider-Man,
Iron Man, Captain America, Falcon, Black Widow.
Is Black Widow in New York?
I guess she's everywhere.
She's kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel's in New York.
Yep. Captain Marvel's from New York.
Doctor Strange is in New York.
It's too much happening in New York. It's not that exciting. It's all right. Yeah.
City that never sleeps. So I guess you need to have some superheroes everywhere. Daredevil's in New York, right?
Yeah, he's in New York.
Yeah, they really need to branch
All
out.
those Defenders guys at New York.
Yeah, they should probably try to branch out a bit, do something else.
In the end, you're just on each other's turf. There's not a fight to crime for anyone.
Yeah, yeah, they should. Who are actually not in America? So Black Panther's not in America.
Namor. He's in the
he's-
ocean.
He's not even on a.
Yes.
He's not even in a country, and he's not a character
Captain
yet,
Britain.
but- well, we don't know if that's a character yet,
Wolverine. He's in Canada.
but he's kind of everywhere as well. There's not many. It's a very American-centric.
There's the Alpha Flight heroes. They're all from Canada.
Yeah, but that's still North America. Like, where are the? I guess
Yelena Belova. She's from Russia.
she's. Yeah, I think she's from Russia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, Shang Chi's not. He's originally from Asia, so I
Yeah,
guess that makes sense. And the Talao place is in Macau somewhere or Hong Kong somewhere. So
Yeah, I've named a couple there though. There, you've got enough.
yeah, I'm waiting for
Like Australia?
Australia, or I guess there's that guy in Eternals from India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani, whatever.
Yeah. But they're all they all end up moving to America. So they're all in America.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Well, if you want to make movies, you got to be in America. So
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you can make movies anywhere, but yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's an Australian hero. All I can think about is Captain Boomerang. He's not even Marvel. He's bloody DC.
Well, he's not Australian, but
No, he's not.
he sounds Australian.
Yeah, he's from Asgard.
Yeah. Trevor Slattery's Morris
Yes.
is voiced by D. Bradley Baker. This is the second.
I didn't know that he had a voice.
This is the second 2021 comic book feature that Baker has appeared in. He previously voiced Sebastian the Rat in the Suicide Squad.
I also didn't know he had a voice. So, yeah.
This guy's a specialist in
This
voicing.
guy's a specialist in voicing stuff that doesn't have voices.
Yeah. So that's all I had in terms of. There's a whole bunch of other trivia, but a lot of them are like useless trivia. Like Michelle
Simu
Yeoh.
Liu has 3 letters in his first name, 4 letters in his first name, and 3 letters in his last name.
Yeah, or like Michelle Yeoh appeared in Crazy Rich Asians with Awkwafina, and they both appear in this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that.
Great.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Michelle Yeoh, but she's not really
She's not in it that much. She's in it as much as Zendaya's in June.
Probably even less than that.
Zendaya in June is pretty bad.
Zendaya's in it less than her in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zendaya's in June less than Michelle Yeoh is
In this.
in
Yeah.
Shang-Chi. Yeah.
Why'd they make Zendaya do the full press tour for June?
It's like that guy in Suicide Squad.
The first one. Yeah.
The guy who dies immediately, he did the whole press thing as well. I think she'll be in it more in the next one. Like she literally isn't in the first book at all. Like she's in his dreams for we're talking about June here, but yeah, she's in his dreams for a little bit, like at the start, and you don't see her again. Anything else about Shang-Chi?
No, it's really good.
It's good.
This is what I wish Black Widow felt like when we watched Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow, yeah.
Was a disappointment.
And it was also good to watch a movie on the big screen.
Yes.
Because it would have been a little bit disappointing if we watched this on Disney Plus after all of that. So it was good to watch it on
This
the big
is
screen.
the Marvel movie we've been waiting for, I think.
So what I've been waiting for, you said you were waiting for Eternals, but looks like you're not really waiting for
I thought this would be shit, but apparently
I
it's
think,
a reverse. Apparently it's reverse Uno in me.
yeah, well, there's one thing we haven't mentioned, and it's it doesn't fall into the origin story trap. That
It doesn't. He doesn't fight.
MCU's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess his dad is kind of like him, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
There's also a good dragon and a bad dragon. They
Yeah.
both got dragons, so.
Yeah, I guess it sort of does.
But I thought this was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. Probably
And I'll probably hate Eternals because I thought that was going to be good. So let's.
that was the one you were most looking forward to. I was never that. I'll watch, obviously I'll watch Eternals, but I wasn't really looking forward to it that much because I don't know much about it.
With all the reviews that have come out, at least we're going to go in with low expectations. So no matter what happens, we'll probably exceed our expectations, unless it's shit.
Unless it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out in a couple of days.
Yeah.
With Eternals. So let's see what happens. As we said, next episode will be the Eternals, and then after that we've got No Time to Die, which you will not be here for.
I think I can probably do No Time to Die. Might be able to do the one after that as well.
Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
And then Venom, Let There Be Carnage after that.
Apparently there's a sneaky, no spoilers, but sneaky
Post-credit.
end credits Venom.
You know,
That's
you know that
MCU
movie's only
related.
90 minutes long?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. It's very short. They kept it
Everyone keeps describing it to me as a romantic comedy, so I don't know how I feel about that.
between Venom and...
And Venom, yeah. Venom and Eddie Brock.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that
But
one.
yeah, sneaky. If you weren't planning on watching Venom, maybe just watch the end credits scene because apparently sneaky stuff.
Well, we got 3 weeks till that, so
Yeah.
let's see. Okay, if people want to get in touch with us about their thoughts on Shang-Chi, how do they go about it?
So contact us at Cognitive Recalibration on all platforms, or you can always email us at cognitiverecalibrationpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want to support the podcast, you can do so via giving us a review on iTunes. That makes us more discoverable on their search engines. If you listen to us on any other platform, such as Spotify, it's usually just a download, so just listen to our episode, and that will make us more discoverable on their search engine. Okay, so that brings us to the end of another episode. So I hope you enjoyed this very late review of Shang-Chi. We went pretty in-depth, I guess, between the two of us. Usually when we get another guest, we go even more in-depth, but we went as in-depth as we could. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're all staying safe. And we'll see you very soon for our review of Eternals.
Yes.
See you later.
See ya.